Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video and another of the AFL of these AFL 2022 season reviews. We're heading down to the last couple of teams now. This one, of course, is a review on the St Kilda Football Club. So only got Carlton and Essendon to go, and I've kept Essendon last for a very good reason, which we'll get to in a later video. So last year St Kilda finished 10th with 10 wins and 12 losses. This year they finished 10th again. This time with a split 11-11, 11 wins and 11 losses. But by the looks of things, but the difference was last season they had a very terrible start to the year. I mean, they had a lot of losses by 10 goals plus, while they got their act together in the second half of the season. This year's was more the opposite. They actually had a very good start, a great start to the year. And by halfway through the year, through the home and away season, we all thought maybe there's a chance for St Kilda to finish finals, maybe even get them contenders for top 4. But unfortunately, as an opposite to last season, they fell right away. Despite having some very good performances, including against Carlton in particular. So yeah. So firstly, let's run through the highlights of this game. So the main highlight in the game being the round 9 upset win over the reigning premiers Geelong, and at this point currently, as I record this video, that was the last time Geelong had been beaten. Because I think they've run on the last 13-14 matches since then, which was a big shock to the system. By half time, everyone thought, "Oh, it's just going to be another Geelong victory." But then suddenly, I think St Kilda kicked 8 in the third quarter. Which absolutely shell-shocked everyone, and most importantly the Geelong players, and everyone for the Geelong Football Club absolutely was shell-shocked with that, and it was enough to give them a 10-point win in the end. Another highlight was, as I said earlier, their start to the season. I might as well put this highlight and also the low light for their season together. So by their bye in round 11, in round 12, their 11 matches they had, they were 8-3. They were in 5th on the ladder, and they were in contention for top 4. And it was pretty big and good wins along the way. Obviously the only they won in that period 3 times in the first half before that bye. In that 11-game period, they won 3 times against current top 8 sides. That was in round 2. That was in round 2 and round 3 against Freo and Richmond. And then, of course, as I said, round 9 against Geelong. The other 2 teams that they played, who are currently playing finals at the moment, are teams. How appropriately enough, are playing semi-final footy next week. That is Collingwood and Melbourne. The Melbourne game, yeah, they probably deserved to lose that one because, of course, Melbourne were just absolutely unbeatable. And then the opening round against Collingwood, they did get shell shocked in the start, but then they slowly came back in the end. But unfortunately, it was all too little too late in the end. And they end up losing their first game by 17 points. So yeah, and then after the bye, we all fought. Well, when they lost against Brisbane in round 13, we all fought. Oh, this just a minor hiccup for them in the end. It wasn't until the round 14 loss against Essendon that we all thought, hang on, there's some more there's more here than meets the eye for St Kilda. And it proved afterwards. I mean, round 15, they got so they versed, they played 7 games against sides that beat in the finals, which was twice against Sydney. By the way, they played Sydney in round 15, and they got beaten by 51 points. And they played them in the final round of the season, and you're beaten just by 14 points. And also Brisbane twice as well. One in round 13 against one in round 13 at the Gabba by 21 points, and the other one in round 22 over at Marvel. That officially knocked them out of the race for the final for the finals. The others were Fremantle by 41 points away at Marvel. The Western Bulldogs in round 18 by 28 points, and the minor premiers in Geelong by 45 points. So as I said, they only played 5 games against finals teams, while in comparison to 7 in the second half of the season. So they really had a favourable. It looked like they had a favourable draw for the first half of the season, and then basically that advantage just teetered away in the second half, and then that's how they really got. That's how really they ended their finals chances. Especially the Essendon game was really the wake up call for everybody to say, "Oh, St Kilda in a bit of trouble." So yeah, on that front as well. To mark them out of 10, I've actually give them a 5 out of 10, and I probably settled on that. Like 6 was probably too much. 4 was probably, a little bit harsh. So I think 5 out of 10 probably sells that one there. So to the players that feature that did very well in the season. First off was Callum Wilkie. I think judging by the statistics, I think he doesn't get a lot of the ball. He's not a big ball getter in defence. I mean, of course, he averages 14, just under 15 touches a game, which is average by AFL standards as sort of a key back. But he's a good interceptor. And good in one-on-ones. I think he's won. In terms of winning one-on-ones, he's won 3 on average of 3 one-on-ones per game, and that is pretty elite for a key back like him. Rebound 50s averages 3.6 per game. Intercept marks, he averages just under 2 per game. Not at the level of, let's say, a Stephen May or a Jake Lever, but he is elite in that area. And the meters gained also is a bit average averaging just a tick under 226 meters gained per game. So yeah, and I think he was considered to be in the Australian team. He and the next but I don't think he did. And really but the next person that that's a part of the career, throughout his whole career, this time, and he averaged, sorry for getting this wrong. So this season, I mean, he's up to around 16.5 touches a game, 2.5 intercept marks per game in 2022, and of course he's averaging winning 3.3 one-on-ones per game. The others, of course, his meters gained has gotten worse, and his rebound 50s per game has gone down to 3.3 this season compared to his career average of 3.6. So yeah. So sorry I got mixed up there. I thought I was reading his season stats, but apparently it was the career stats. So I got a bit mixed up there. So, and then the next one who did end up getting named in the All-Australian team was Jack Sinclair. A very good season from him. He averaged, of course, he was averaging under 28 touches a game, which is big for someone who's running off halfback. He had he averaged close to 7 intercept possessions a game. His meters gained is almost at 514.5 meters gained per game. He's not good in the one-on-ones. Let's just put it that way. He's good in the rebound 50s. He's averaging 4.9. Just close to 5 per game. And of course, in the intercept marks, he is a bit, he's not strong in the intercept marking area, obviously, because he is a small defender at 1.2 per game, which is all right for a smaller defender. So yeah, and I think him being named the Australian team, I think he deserved that. I believe for Sinclair, I think he's had a great season for the Saints. Another one who really has had a fantastic season before he got struck down with injury late in the season, and that was probably when maybe some Saints fans could say, yeah, that's when our finals chances were gone. And that was Jay Gresham. I think in clearances and contested possessions, he was great this season. He averaged 10.2 contested possessions a game and averaged just over 4 clearances per game, 4.1 to be exact. And the others also, he was actually quite good. I mean, averaged over 23 touches a game. Averaged 332 meters gained, which is pretty good for him. Who's, I mean, more of a midfielder who goes forward like some others as well around other clubs. He averages just under 6 score involvements per game, and averages at almost 12.5 kicks per game. And that was a big blow when he went down with injury. You could tell in the earlier seasons when he went down with that Achilles injury last year, they really did struggle without him for most of that season with Achilles injury. And then basically once he went down this season, of course, it was basically the end of them, because he held the key to potentially for them to make finals or not. So yeah. Another player who's had pretty much a stock standard season, really, and I would assume he will probably go high on the Brownlow again. Not closer to winning it than he was last year, but he'll be slightly in the conversation again. Is of course Jack Steele. I mean, he's good. He is standard, he's good in pretty much every area except for scoring bowl moments, where he's averaging just under five scoring bowl moments per game, 4.7 to be exact. But others, I mean, he's averaging over 27 touches a game, 11.2 contested possessions, over 12.5 kicks per game. Clearances just over 5 per game, and in meters gained 340, just over 344.5 meters gained per game. So yeah, and another one who one last player who really did prove himself in the last bit of the season, especially against Brisbane when he locked down Lockie Neal, was Marcus Windhager. I think he could be perhaps St Kilda's new tagger. I think. I mean, we all know how much taggers are out of the game. We all know that sometimes, but they slowly are coming back. I mean, there are several players that can in each club from each club that could shut down a big player, as Windhager proved, obviously shutting down Lockie Neal and getting on the ball himself, and obviously that was enough for him to earn a Rising Star nomination as well in that game, for his game. So I think for me, he hasn't found what he's good at, what his strength is yet, because obviously he's still in his first year of playing AFL footy. So we still don't know what his strength and what his weaknesses, what his strength is. Probably that is the tag, but is most obvious. I think he's there to pretty much to tag. Otherwise, he probably doesn't offer anything pretty much. But he was actually quite good when he played. So I think for me, just to give him a bit of a mention, because I think he might be a future tagger that St Kilda could St Kilda use to their advantage. Under pressure, straight up with this one, not surprisingly, it's the forward coaches. I could have put Max King in this conversation, but I've gone with the forward coaches. I mean, and especially the St Kilda staff. I mean, to say that they don't need Max King to go to Matthew Lloyd, who's of course one, his mentor, and two, one of the best full forwards the game has seen, one of the best full forwards the game has seen in the 21st century. Is pretty much poor, and to come out and say that he has no flaws, which, spoiler alert, he does have flaws in his set shot routine. That's Max King. So Lloyd did this as demonstration on the Sunday Footy show. I think it was a week or so ago, after when St Kilda lost to Brisbane, and that is that the problem is with him is he's running in too slow, and then because he's running in too slow, to get elevation on the kick, he has to lean back. He has to lean back like he's on a freaking chair or something. He has to lean back to get elevation on the kick. Which is not good as well, and also he fidgets around with the ball, and that which obviously Lloyd did see, and I don't know why St Kilda would not send King off to at least like Lloydie said that it said that he's had conversation with Max King and said, And Lloyd said, oh, you need to get permission from the club. And he hasn't said, and it didn't come back at all, because they probably said, no, you're not gonna get some advice from Matty Lloyd. You stay with us. His goal accuracy has steadily been improved over the years. I mean, in 2020, he was starting out footy with when his goal accuracy was about 45%, which, as I said, is in his first year. Then it upped a little bit to 48.7 and 48, and it was up to, again this year, to 49.1 with his goal accuracy, but still a bit of an issue with that. He's still a below average in that area in the goal accuracy terms. So yeah, and as I said, it was wrong. I think what Kane Corn said, I think is right. I think it was precious of them to say that King doesn't need any outside help, and for Brett Ratton to say he doesn't have flaws, which was a bit naive. I think Lloyd actually said that he called him out and said he was a bit naive of saying he had no flaws, because obviously flaws of his set shot routine, which, as I said, he does. So I hope that he irons those out over the off season, because I think he can have a pretty big season in 2023 if he works on his accuracy. Another one that also had a terrible goal accuracy. That needs to work on their goal accuracy, in my opinion, based off of this year, has been Jack Higgins. I mean, his accuracy was 54%. Now, as a small forward, that's actually quite a good record for quite good goal accuracy. Despite him in one game last year when he scored, I think it was 0 goal, 1 goal 5 or 1 goal 6. I mean, that was a game against Sydney where they lost by about a goal. So yeah, and then the last game, and then this year it dropped dramatically. As I said, last year it was 54%. His goal kicking accuracy, it was dropped to 45.5%, which is, in my opinion, poor for a small forward. Small forward. I mean, and of course, goal accuracy. I said about Ben King, that is still their biggest issue. That St Kilda have. That is their goal accuracy, because that has cost them games. The one goal, what was it, 6, 1 goal 7, that he scored against GWS in Anzac round. That doesn't bother me, because obviously, of course, St Kilda won the game, obviously, but the 0 goals 5 against Brisbane, that was the game. That was a game where they had to win. Where if they lose that game, they're out. They're out of finals contention. Officially, would be out of finals contention. And of course, their accuracy shot them in the foot. So they can say all they like, but I think if the forward coaches like Jared Ruffhead and that sort of stuff, if they don't do their job and improve Max King's forward goal accuracy, and it's still costing them games this year where they've missed out on finals again, I won't be surprised if those forward line coaches get the arse, or sorry, get the sack. Put it more nicely. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because, as I said, this goal accuracy from King, not just from Higgins, but from everybody, but from every forward that is playing for St Kilda at the moment is costing them big. So, I mean, if they kick straight, then because I think I need to check this out. I think they only lost the game in round 22 by only they only lost the game by 15 points. If Max King only had to kick at least at least 2 to 3 of those 5 behinds straight. Only had to kick 2 or 3, and that would have gotten St Kilda over the line. Then suddenly that game against St Kilda and Sydney would have been more important. But no, instead he kicked 0 goals 5. Brisbane win the game. St Kilda's finals chances are officially and well and truly gone. So yeah, so I think St Kilda need to really improve their goal accuracy next year if they want to challenge the finals in 2023. So that is pretty much the end of this video. We're nearing the end of these season reviews from teams that have just missed out on finals. The next one is going to be about Carlton. I just cannot wait for that one, and of course Essendon, which I can't wait to bring you out that one. That is going to be me at probably one of me at my angriest because of obvious reasons. So yeah. So like this video, share this to anybody who is a St Kilda fan. Comment down below. Do you agree that do you think what do you think? What I think we should write in the comments. Do you agree with my opinion that that St Kilda need to work on their goal accuracy, or do you think there's something else that they need to work on if they want to take their next step and make finals next year? I would love to hear your opinion. And one last thing, somewhere down there, click on the big red button which is labeled subscribe. So until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later, and wherever you may be, may the sunshine or the moon shine on you.